would you are gonna change, and not for better. Don't know what it means to me, but it's hopeless, hopeless. Gotta get you home, could be with anyone. I think of what I've done, you know it all. Everything is everything. The more I talk about it, the less I do control. Everything means everything. Can't understand a word. I've got to stop and saying the things I do possess. Sometimes they own me too. What they gonna do to me? I think it's hopeless, hopeless. What I can't explain, I'm sure you get it well. Since I always wanted, I always wanted you. Everything is everything. The more I talk about it, the less I do control. Everything means everything. Can't understand a word. How about the stuff I'm saying? Riding low, riding faster. This is what I want. Look what it did to me. Riding low, riding faster. This is what you want. This is what you get instead. Riding low, riding faster. This is what you want. I always wanted you. Everything is everything. The more I talk about it, the less I do control. Everything means everything. Can't understand a word. I've got to stop and saying riding low, riding faster. The more I talk about it, the less I do control. Riding low, riding faster. Can't understand a word. I've got to stop and saying riding low, riding faster. The more I talk about it, the less I do control. Riding low, riding faster. Can't understand a word. I've got to stop and saying.
Okay, guys, if you want to wrap up conversation, give about 5 more minutes. Y'all might be wondering what the hell I'm doing. I'm trying to get the live stream output looking good. So this is streaming on YouTube right now for people who can't attend in person. If you guys want, if y'all have Twitter, we're ATL_blockchain. If you want to retweet our live stream link to make us world renowned. Hey, we're about to start, everybody. Just letting y'all know. Man, I didn't know how so many people would be here today. Some VIP section right here. If you see yourself up on this screen and you want to say some words, including Gino's, please make your way towards the stage, even though we don't have a stage. Make your way towards the front. Just if you could queue up. All right. Anyways, if you are a sponsor, if you're not coming up here, I'm going to assume you want me to speak for you, which is fine. Okay. So. Quick show of hands, if you want to. If this is your first time coming out to a tab meetup, would you be okay raising your hand? All right, cool. Many of y'all. Thank you so much for coming. I want to give a quick kind of just preamble to what this is. So the Atlanta blockchain really focused on, is there more to blockchain than just Bitcoin? And we're very, I guess you could say, public blockchain focused. We're just trying to explore and understand, what's going on here. It's pretty overwhelming, and we're smarter together. We can make good decisions, ask good questions, evaluate projects. So that's pretty much the goal of this group. You kind of get in what you put out, or you get out what you put in. How's that? So if you do want to help run the meetup, just let me know afterwards. There's a lot of things that we can do to make this experience better for everybody. If there's a topic you want a speaker, et cetera, we can make it happen. So I quickly want to go over the sponsors that help make this possible. They help pay for the beer and pizza and everything. So first one, Hide.me. I'm going to quickly just run through these, unless they're standing over here. Like I said, if you're a sponsor and want to say something, stand over here. Okay, whatever. Hide.me, a VPN service where you can spend cryptocurrency. So you can be a bit more anonymous when you're surfing the web than just using a normal VPN. So and Hide.me is They say they don't store any logs, and they have servers all around the world. I've been using them now for about 3 years, or 3 or 4 years. I've been a big fan of them. Bear tax, if you have bought or sold cryptocurrency and the IRS has sent you a letter, talk to these people. They're bearish on taxes. We have Tyrion. This is a timestamping service, so if you want to prove when something existed, you can use the Tyrion API and you can timestamp it for free. So it's a pretty cool service they provide. Check them out. If you are a developer and have any questions about that, I actually used to work for Tyrion, so let me know. I can help you with that. Okay, I don't see Brandon Mintz. Okay, well, Bitcoin Depot, they have I think the most Bitcoin ATMs out of any company. They have 300 Bitcoin ATMs. I'm sure like 60 of those are in just Atlanta. You might have a Bitcoin ATM closer to your house than you think. There's if you Google like coin ATM radar, you will see like the closest ATM to you, and it's probably Brandon. So Bitcoin Depot has been a supporter for a while. We have Edge Wallet. So Edge Wallet, like I mentioned in the past, it's one of the few wallets that supports several things like Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, and stuff like that, but also Monero. I also feel like Edge is one of the simplest wallets to use if you're new. So to BitBoy and Quinn, when you're on the streets asking people to write down 12 words, it might be better to use Edge. It's just an idea. I think it's easy for newbies to get in real quick. Maybe we can debate about that at later at the bar. So quick, let's go over BitPay. James, if you want to come say a few words.
Hello, Tab. I'm James. I work at BitPay. We got started in 2011, moved up here to ATV in 2012, and have been in Atlanta ever since. We help people and companies make and accept Bitcoin cryptocurrency payments. Pretty soon, Ethereum as well. That's kind of the big news lately. So everyone from Microsoft and AT&T to the Dallas Mavericks and Gino's Barbershop will be able to take your Ether in addition to your Bitcoin and your Bitcoin Cash. And so for companies like that, we insulate them from the price volatility of cryptocurrency. They can accept cryptocurrency payments from customers, but get US dollars, euros, et cetera. On the consumer side, if you want to actually live life on crypto or use crypto to pay overseas or send money to your friends and neighbors, we have the BitPay app where you can go and buy gift cards from major brands like Delta and Amazon.com. You can spend peer-to-peer, and you can load up a prepaid Visa card with dollars. So we're just trying to make it practical for people to use cryptocurrency for commerce, and that's the use case we're really focused on. We've been focused on for all this time. If you use BitPay and you have feedback for us, questions for us, talk to me and Brandon here. We're open books, and would really love to hear from you. We have a user testing program. We're looking to talk to some people who are really, really committed to building a great user experience for cryptocurrency payments. So if that's you, come talk to us afterward and just tell us, what would it take for you to be comfortable with using cryptocurrency for most of your expenses? Thanks.
Hey, thank you. Also want to say Gino's Barber, if you like how my hair looks, I get my hair cut at Gino's Barber, have for like the last 2 years or so. They also accept cryptocurrency. So make sure if you have hair, you get your hair cut at Gino's because they're our sponsor. You should support our sponsors. And and then obviously, I just want to say Tron is here today. Can we just get a quick round of applause for Tron? No. They're, and of course, like the after party. More on that later. And Founders Legal, they're going to give a legal moment update a little bit later. So we'll go over Founders Legal, but Founders Legal is actually based in this building. So if you need legal advice, Founders Legal. Why else? One sec. So quick updates. We finished the Mastering Ethereum book. If you ever attended a Mastering Ethereum book, can you just raise your hand? So like the proud soldiers that actually went through this book, it was a lot. I think we spent like 18 weeks or something on this, and finally got through it. So I think the next one we're going through is probably Mastering Monero, unless we want to do something else. We'll probably start that next week. So if you want to get in on the ground floor of a new book on cryptocurrency, make sure you join, and I'll show you how to join in just a second. I don't know. All right. Just to let you know, we also currently have Programming Bitcoin. If you want to join, this is a remote-only option. Again, this is going to be through TabDev, T-A-B-D-E-V, through Telegram channel. So here are our Telegram channels. Our main channel is Atlanta Blockchain. We have TabDev, and that's how you're going to find out about those classes that are free to learn about, we're going to talk about Monero and then also Bitcoin. So everything has a remote option, but the Programming Bitcoin is only remote. We also have Tab Shill, which is literally for everything else. And then again, ATL_blockchain, if you want to retweet our live stream link so more people can find out about this, please help us. And speaking of Tab Shill, it's time to quickly shill a bunch of stuff for you. Bitcoin Atlanta, cool meetup. Atlanta Blockchain Week, happening now. Thank you for coming here. And you should definitely go to Blockchain Week after this, or tomorrow. Second annual Global Power Energy Blockchain Conference, October 23rd, 25th. Use BCC for 25% off. More details, talk to Linda with her hand raised. Disrupt Atlanta, that's through BlockTech. If you're with BlockTech, raise your hand. So talk to these guys to know more about this event. It's September 28th. And if you want to go to, if you have a company that's at least 3 years old, or maybe if you just have a company to be determined, check out these people because they're giving away $10,000 and maybe a chance to get a contract for $100K through the city of Cumming, I believe. Department of Transportation. See how close I was to that? The DOJ. So if you want to work with the DOJ and maybe do stuff with traffic lights. DOT. DOJ sounds better. Department of Justice. All right, anyways. All right, enough here. And final show right here, Thomas. He's actually giving away something, so he gets the mic.
Thank you, Michael. Thomas Harpointner, I'm the founder and CEO of AIS Media Inc. We're a digital marketing agency, and that big building right next door, so I have no excuse not to come here, right? I'm seeing a lot of new faces here today, so that's really awesome. I'm going to keep it real short. Bubbles Benefit, if you haven't heard about it, it's called Bubbles Benefit. It's on Facebook and it's on Instagram. We're giving away a $50 VIP ticket to Bubbles Benefit, which is at Roche Beauvoir next Wednesday. All money we raise at this event is going to Hands Across Atlanta to keep kids in school, keep them off the streets, so maybe we don't get shot by them later. So we're pouring champagne all night long, free hors d'oeuvres, thousands of dollars in prizes from raffle tickets. We have a couple hundred people coming. It's an open rooftop patio, 3-story building. It's going to be fantastic. If you'd like to win the $50 VIP ticket, all you need to do is go to Instagram or Facebook, check out Bubbles Benefit, like the page, follow the page, and leave a cool comment. Later, we're going to pick a random winner. And if you guys want more information, the CEO of Hands Across Atlanta, they feed thousands of homeless veterans every single week. He's going to be at Twin Peaks at our after party tonight. His name is Marcus Acosta. He's coming up here from downtown. Wonderful guys. So thank you very much for the audience. Hope to see you guys. Is that quick enough?
Yes, thank you. You did great. Round of applause for Thomas. Yes. And if you need some flyers, they're up here. And Thomas is true to his word, so he will definitely be giving away a ticket to someone. So if you help like their stuff on social media, he'll find you. All right. TabConf, we have official dates now, 21st through 23rd. So we actually have some dates now. So plan your travel, spread the word. This is going to be a few-day conference. It's usually 3 days. The first day is like workshops and free education for people. And then the next 2 days are going to be presentations, panels, and we're going to try something this time around with camps, leader badges, and you kind of cash in your badges to get swag and stuff. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and we usually keep the tickets fairly low compared to other conferences. So, what? Oh yeah, it's TabConf 2020. Yeah, we need a new logo. We have a guy. We have a guy. So we just need to change that 19 to a 20. We'll be all set. Oops. All right, so quick. You have
Hello. 30 milliseconds. All right, well. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if has anybody here ever heard of Backed? Yeah, okay, good, like a fair amount of people. Nobody here's from Backed, right? No. Yeah, no. Yeah. So that's the big news this week. Backed launched. For anybody that doesn't know, Backed is actually owned by ICE, the Intercontinental Exchange, who is also the parent company of the New York Stock Exchange, which is kind of a big deal. These are actually big boys that are playing now. And based on what's happening from this, and it's rampant speculation, but that's kind of what we do here. It's rampant speculation that due to the back launch, because they're a futures market, a great many of large investors have placed shorts on Bitcoin, with the futures market contract, predicting that the price would drop. And as a short, if you get enough shorts on the market, the price drops. And they busted through about, I think it was like $400 million worth of longs on BitMEX. And that's why we've seen the drop. I think it's sitting around, right about there. It's 8,600 right now. Earlier today, I don't know if anyone was paying attention. It's like not like I do or anything, but it was about 10,000 earlier today. So that was pretty dramatic. But this is Bitcoin. It happens. So a little bit more about Backed, right? Because a lot of people don't really know what Backed is. They think, so Backed to me is three things. The first thing that people actually tend to know 100% is, it's a custodial solution. And yes, Backed, they bought out a company out of New York, but they have Backed Warehouse, which is a custodial solution where they actually will house the Bitcoin that you purchase on the Backed platform. So this is actually really good long term. This is good for Bitcoin, right? Because everything's good for Bitcoin. What it does is it allows you to, institutional investors who by law cannot manage their own funds, they can't manage their own keys, they have to have an institutional custodian to do that for them. This gives them an option to hold custody of the Bitcoin because they can do it in Backed Warehouse. So that's kind of a big deal because it allows institutions like pension funds, et cetera, the ability to purchase Bitcoin. How much more am I out of time? Okay, two other things. One other thing they do is, of course, the futures market, and most people know about that. But the thing that people don't know about Backed is also their phase 3 is actually a payment platform. You see the name Backed, B-A-K-K-T. I ask you, what does that mean? The answer is, it is backed by Bitcoin. So it's not Bitcoin itself. Their initial partner, when they came out with the initial release, was Starbucks. The idea being, when they open up their payment platform, you will be able to pay with denominated in Bitcoin through Backed in their app at any Starbucks in America. Backed by coffee. But Backed, just keep an eye out, because they're trying to go for the payment space. So it's a very big deal. They're very, very big players. All right, thank you.
Hey, thank you. Thanks, Mike, for keeping us up to date with Backed. If you know someone that works at Backed, invite them over here, and let's have them give a presentation, because I think that'd be really fun. All right, so after party, again, Tron, thank you so much. Tron Foundation for sponsoring the after party at Twin Peaks. That's going to be the second floor after this. And we'll go till 11, midnight, whatever. So we'll see until the money runs out. Yeah. We'll drink till we can't drink no more. All right, so we're time to start our t-shirt giveaway questions. And if you answer these right and we have your t-shirt size, we'll give you a t-shirt. So hopefully not everyone wears a medium or something. All right, so first question, and thank you, Courtesy Roulette, for coming up with the questions. Okay. All right, so first question is, when was the first Tab meetup? You have to get the month and the year. So I heard June 2016. That's incorrect. July, are you just going to let them get the shirt? I don't know if anyone else wants to. If I hear the right answer, it's September. Does anyone? August 17. August 2017. No, but we did. That was our largest meetup. March 2016. Randy. Okay. What? See. That was a planted question. So see if there we go. See if I can t-shirt gun throw it to you. Oh, I caught the shoe. All right. Okay, question 2. What's the best way to get free parking here? You. Boom. I like that answer. Large, if we have it. We have an extra large. We have lucky for you, we have a medium. All right, so did y'all hear his answer? Get your parking validated at Twin Peaks, so you can park next door if you know you're going to the after party. Thanks. I was like, what are you doing? Thanks. Okay, last question. Finish this sentence. Not your keys, not your Bitcoin. You shouted that out right away. What? How about medium? Medium or XL? Medium XL or pass? Okay. Thank you for. I used to hoop. Okay. So thank you for being walking billboards for this meetup. I hope you wear it proudly. All right. So that was the last question. Oh wait. Tron sponsoring the after party. I just want to make sure that was clear. Okay. So Founders Legal, if we're going to give a legal minute update to catch you up on all things legal that Founder Legals wants to tell you. Hopefully in and around blockchain and cryptocurrency. We'll see. Okay. So can you introduce yourself and then?
Yeah, hi, my name's Stan Sater. I'm in the corporate group at Founders Legal, so we watch the blockchain space as well as just general startups type stuff. But today I just want to focus on 2 legal things that happened in the last week. The first one being XRP's securities class action lawsuit. So this week they filed a motion to dismiss, and for those who don't know, a motion to dismiss is you kind of just list out things, reasons why you should win on the merits, on the facts that are already established. And they list out 12 reasons. I'm not going to go through all 12 because they're kind of just Hail Marys. But in the introduction, they said, basically, we're a convertible virtual currency defined by FinCEN. So as a currency, we shouldn't be regulated as a security. And the interesting thing about that is that's wrong. Because FinCEN never defined them as a currency. They defined them as a convertible virtual currency. And a convertible virtual currency is something that either has an equivalent value in real currency or acts as a substitute for real currency. Again, they never said that they are a currency. So the motion's pretty disappointing after that, and it's really just a tactic to further delay the trial. But the next steps, there's going to be an opposition to the motion, and then the court will hear oral arguments in January 15th to be exact. And then today, what was interesting was all 5 commissioners of the SEC went in front of the bank committee, and they talked about securities laws in general, but also some of the Congress members on the committee asked specific questions regarding the Libra project. Now, most of the commissioners avoided answering those questions specifically, but some of the issues raised was that whether Libra or the Libra investment tokens could be securities. And it's kind of interesting because both Libra and the Libra investment tokens can be securities. The Libra investment token gives you rights to a dividend. So obviously, as we all know about traditional equities, you get certain preference rights, voting rights, dividend rights, you start looking like a security. Cool, no big deal. Libra investment token most likely is a security. Now, the Libra token that's supposed to be a currency, a lot of people have speculated because it's based off of a basket of currencies in a reserve bank. We are on a reserve fractional banking system already. You can really run out of hand. But in reality, doing it off of a basket of currencies, you kind of start looking like an ETF, a currency ETF. And we already have those products today. And ETFs, as we all know, are regulated by the SEC. So very well could be, depending on the management and the makeup of the basket of currencies, how they try and stabilize that value, the Libra token could be a security. So that's something to consider as this plays out going forward. Again, Libra said that they're not going to launch without proper permissions from the regulator, so we'll probably start hearing more announcements regarding that. So it'll be interesting to see how all this plays out and something to follow with more updates to come.
Thank you. Hey, that was great. Thank you. I feel like you could have probably stayed up here and fielded questions. I don't know. Thank you so much. Let's see. Okay, so this Casey brought this up. And this was interesting, so I thought we should bring it up. Did this precede the dump? Yeah. So the weird part, so if you don't know what mining is, it's what the computers, crunch out and try to find blocks, and there's a hash rate. The hash rate is how fast these computers are guessing at an answer to find a block. So the interesting part is, so if you don't know what an exahash is, that's 1,000 terahash. And if you don't know what a terahash is, it's like 1,000 gigahash. It just turtles all the way down to a single hash. Anyways, the weird part is today it went down about 33%, and that was before the price dump. So I thought that was kind of interesting for you. You can speculate and come up with conspiracies, and then we can talk about them later. That might bounce back up too. So then this might just be like, oh, this is nothing. But we just thought we might want to throw it out. Also, something interesting to note that when a lot of us got into Bitcoin or like heard of it, the hash rate was only like a couple terahash. So this is just to kind of show you how much hash the network has compared to 2013 or so, or 2012, where it was just a couple terahash. So just to kind of put things in perspective right now. So I did, before we start the main presentation, I did want to talk about something I found that was really, really cool. If you like Bitcoin Cash, you're probably not going to like this part of the presentation, but I did want to show you something cool I found. Anyways, hold on. I'm going to set up my phone real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. And then hopefully someone in the audience that I tested this out with will be willing to do a live demo real quick. Grab the mic. Wait, Linda, let me grab the live stream.
Hold on. And he wanted me to stop talking, so just FYI.
Yeah, one of the things that Hester Pierce said today a couple of times is there needed to be a safe harbor for true utility tokens, and Clayton seemed to be nodding in agreement. So hopefully that's something that we can look forward to, is that there's actually some regulatory certainty around what a utility token is and how it's dealt with through the SEC. So that was positive. And another interesting factoid, unless you're already ready, Mike? No? Okay. Clayton said that companies that want to raise 1 million or 50 million have decent tools that they can use, but he was concerned about those companies in between 1 to 50 million that were trying to grow. So what we're looking at right now is there's hopefully going to be an opening up of the designations that allow for legal raising through crowdfunding that will give companies a little bit more leeway than that, is it 1.7 or, just the small amount of raise, kind of give a little bit more leeway so that people can do that without too much regulatory strangulation. And, if you don't have enough money to do your project, then you might not have enough money to do, Series A, Series, it's just, it's like a stranglehold on innovators and people that are bootstrapping. So the SEC is actually looking at that now, and it's nice to have it talked about and see that there might be potential for change. So thanks.
Okay, so who here has an Android? Okay, so do y'all know how to go into developer mode? Because the way you do that is you hit the model number like 18 times, and I got it, dude. I was just... So I couldn't find the right options because my you have to everyone knows has Android. You have to hit this button 18 times and then you get access. Okay, anyways. So I had to do that again on my phone for some reason. All right, probably because I turned it off for security. All right, so the app I wanted to show you, like I said, this is the anti-Bitcoin Cash part of the presentation. So make sure to troll me later with your spiciness. So something cool. This is a wallet that I found recently, and to be honest, I've found Lightning very hard to use, even on mobile where things are hosted for you. And when I say hard to use, I just mean the user experience has always been kind of crappy for me. It's been usable, but there's been a lot of trade-offs. One thing I wanted to talk about was Breeze Wallet real quick. BREEZ. That's without an E on the end. If you have Android, you can find that. One thing that they do that's interesting is they create an inbound liquidity channel to you when you download the app for 0.01 Bitcoin. So that means you can accept up to 0.01 Bitcoin. That means you can also load it up to 0.01 Bitcoin if you send Bitcoin to it. So you actually don't hold Bitcoin on it, you hold Lightning coins on it. So they're essentially giving you a functional submarine swap. When you send them Bitcoin, they give you Lightning coins. So you are just loaded up on Lightning. So I want to show you. So this is when you can make fun of me if this doesn't work. Who wants to? Someone who already has you? Okay. So we have a volunteer. Okay, good. So it's someone I know this will work with because I tried it before. Or we'll see. Because if it fails, then this will be funny, right? So obviously you use Telegram to share all this stuff, right? I mean, you volunteered, so. Oh, well, I'm gonna send it to you, and then you can send it to me. So I want to. We'll see if that works. So you get alias. We'll see. The ad comes soon, so we'll have to click off of it. Okay, so are you able to join? Yeah, I'm waiting for payer to enter an amount. Well, there you go. Try one. Maybe it was because of the ad. Maybe not. Who knows? All right, let's try again. So that was try one. So I'm at strike one. I blame Visor ad on this one, so that's only a half a strike.
I love wallets that you have to watch ads to use.
This is the Visor. No, that's the Visor, not a Breeze. Okay, there you go. It doesn't work. Strike two. How about where's Mikey? Oh.
Well, send him the money. I'm sure he'll react.
No, strike 3. There you go. Lightning is still unusable.
Bow, bow.
Real quick, since we already have it up, can we try with you? Yep, Telegram. See if it works. Oh, I think there's something wrong with your phone, Ed. So I can sell him, we'll say 100 Satoshi. So he's Violet Chick. See if it works. Okay, so you can see, like, that was a little painful. Mike, can you try sending some back? Yeah. Okay. And
No, that's
how about-
mine. I don't know what you're talking about.
We tried it earlier with that, it didn't work at
All
all.
right, hold on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see if I can.
He's using a flip phone.
All right. So hold on. I didn't send you before. So it's connect to pay or
Yeah,
do I
so
generate an invoice?
So how about we do the other way now?
So
I can-
let
I
me
can do it just
create
an
invoice real quick.
No, I create the invoice.
Oh, you
'Cause
create.
I'm
Okay, you create the
invoicing you.
invoice. Yeah.
So we'll say, pay me 10 Satoshi. So scan that. So this is a different way to use the wallet.
Where's the scanner? Where's the send?
Oh, there you go.
Oh, did you get it?
No, I was just kidding.
Oh. Invoice pay. Okay.
Allow.
Yeah. Got it. And I'm
Okay.
going to hit approve now.
Okay. So I got it. Okay. So if your phone works, so I want to. So the reason you might be wondering, like, why are you showing us this wallet, right? You already have Edge wallet. You already have BitPay. Like, there's already plenty of wallets that work. The reason I want to talk about this is because to me this is a good user experience with Lightning, right? You might be like, oh, you're still kind of struggling a little bit, and there you have to connect and all this stuff. Well, what I'm trying to point out is this is the best user experience I've seen so far, and that's to kind of tell you something. I want to break this down just a little bit, though. The reason why this is actually usable, in my opinion, is they open up an inbound liquidity channel to every single person for about $100 worth of Bitcoin, which means every single person who downloads their wallet, they lock up $100 worth of Bitcoin in a channel. So if everyone right now, let's say there's 100 people here, I don't know, probably maybe less, but let's say there's 100 people, and you open up, and everyone downloads this wallet right now, they literally lock up $10,000 worth of Bitcoin. So that means if 1,000 people do it, that's $100,000. Obviously you can see like they're locking up serious amounts of Bitcoin if a lot of people download the Breeze wallet. So I'm interested to know what they would do to scale for many people. But I just wanted to show you today in Lightning kind of. So that was that. So if you do, how about this? If you do download the Breeze wallet right now at Twin Peaks, I will send you some Satoshis for free. So. If you're savvy on an iOS device, you can download the non-App Store version off their website or GitHub or something, and kind of install it yourself if you're savvy enough to do that. Okay, so that's all I wanted to show you there. Thank you for watching the demo. I'm going to plug this back in 1 sec. Coming all the way from Lawrenceville, Quinn Gibbons. Gibson.
Gibbons. It's close, right?
I've always said that in my head.
I've been Gibbons this whole time. We've known each other 2 months, dude. Jeez. Which, okay, left, right? Which one was yours? Oh. Bro. That one. We're buddies. It's all right. Guys, how you doing tonight? Thanks for coming. My name's Quinn. Do a little kind of figure out who my audience is. Who here knows about the Tron dApps? Who's played the Tron dApps before? Very few people. Who knows about Tron? Who's heard of it? Who's bought some? Who's got Tron? Okay, so a little bit. Who here has got Bitcoin? All right, so. Okay, all right, cool, thanks. I'm gonna walk around just because it's my first time doing any public speaking, so if I get nervous or start talking too fast, give me like a white flag and I'll slow down, all right? Basically, I got into the Tron dApps last year, a year and a half ago, because I live in South America and I was using Western Union a lot. That's what really got me into crypto initially. But you can't play with your crypto too much right now if it's Bitcoin. You know, there's not a lot of use cases for it. Mike just kind of showed us how difficult it is just to, you know, kind of use it everyday stuff. So right now what we've been doing is we've been doing an adoption kind of tour where we're going around trying to focus on non-coiners and see where that lack of user-friendliness is. And the biggest thing we found is basically in understanding. People don't really want to take the risk. They don't care enough about it. And you have to make it interesting for them in order to capture their attention, right? So I want to start the idea of being able to capture that attention as the, where's my sticker? There it is. The digital evolution, right? So right now, I'd say that we're in the middle of a digital evolution. I think everybody can pretty much agree that, you know, it's, the fabric of society has changed. You know, what used to be, how we used to act, the way we used to raise kids even, is not the same anymore. So for me, I believe that a lot of people in this room probably think it started with the financial crisis that, you know, stemmed from the housing market collapsing, right? That's what everybody kind of believes. 2009, we got Bitcoin, we got blockchain, it's awesome. I think that evolution started a few years before that, though, because when I was a junior in high school, Facebook came out, right? And at the time being a junior, I couldn't get a Facebook account because you had to have an EDU or a college address to sign up. That exclusivity made everything crazy. I mean, the senior class had their Facebook accounts. It was the coolest thing ever. And nobody can deny it changed everything, right? So whether you like it or not, things have changed. You know, our kids are different now with the way they interact with these devices. So that change started with social media. And it was important because it had to, like, slow step our way into this digital evolution. So social media did that by capturing our attention and pretty much giving us things that we didn't even know we wanted. You know, that connectivity was awesome. We had never been able to experience full connectivity across the world like that. And I think that that tapped into something that was able to transcend a lot of boundaries, you know, cultural, age, didn't really matter because right now, it doesn't matter who you are, everybody's using Facebook. They use it for family interactions, for business, for whatever, but it's progressed to this new evolutionary stage where Facebook and Twitter and YouTube got us our feet wet. You know, we got introduced to what could be. And these big e-commerce giants came along and kind of cemented this new evolutionary change. Now, how did they do that, right? So back in the day, I used to buy my, my college textbooks from Barnes & Nobles. I'd get my course list, stupid expensive, right? And I'd have to go and spend $400 or $500 per semester. Amazon was coming out at the time, and you could buy books on Amazon, just books. That was all it was. But they were selling them for like $80 cheaper than Barnes & Noble. So obviously, as a poor college student getting these scholarship grants and having allocation money for books, I want to spend as little as possible and get as much as I can. Amazon did a great job, right? They just swallowed up huge amounts of market share during that time. They're dominating Amazon, or dominating Barnes & Noble because Barnes & Noble can't compete. Barnes & Noble shut down. And eventually it moves on to everything, right? So to other things. Those other things are going to be things like Netflix, right? So who goes to the movies anymore? Does anybody go to the movie theaters right now? Maybe 5%? Who watches Netflix at home? So Netflix moved in and gave us something that we didn't know we needed yet, right? This ability to be at home and enjoy the experience of the movie theaters was something that everybody loves. And right now, I think we can see that that change was good, right? I love that change. But we also can tell, has anybody noticed their Netflix prices have gone up? Just recently, right? It's like $17 now if you want like a family package with HD. So I could see them continuing to do that. And that middleman situation is not good when it's profiting off of our time. Our attention is what's allowed these ecosystems to flourish. So where are they monetizing it? Data, right? People think data is the new big thing. It's going to replace oil in market share, and it might actually. I think the currency that is valuable is the actual time, our attention span, our ability to watch or our willingness to watch their ads. You know, whether it's paying the membership fee, that's great, or if it's on YouTube watching the ads, that's fine. But these middlemen are taking up huge percentages of the revenue that's generated off these platforms. So, for example, YouTube right now, does anybody have like a Twitch streamer that they like watching, or video games, or maybe your kids? Do your kids watch gamers? Maybe more than they actually play the games. So you'll see them that they'd prefer to watch people playing the video games online than play them themselves. That's a whole new economy that's going to start emerging, right? Twitch right now is kind of capitalized on it. You know, YouTube live streamers have it, but it's still 55% of that revenue is going towards YouTube or Twitch. Wouldn't you like a situation where you as a viewer might get paid to watch the advertisements that your favorite content creators post? You wouldn't feel bad about watching that content because, or even those ads, because you know that money is going towards somebody you support, you like. So that idea of disrupting these ecosystems is happening in front of us. We've seen it with Facebook and getting our feet wet. We're watching it with Amazon just completely dominating everything right now. I mean, who's competing? There's really nobody that can compete with Amazon. Blockchain is going to be able to progress it. So this evolutionary process is kind of stuck in the factor that they've used the technology to benefit themselves. They've created these huge, huge companies, and those companies are benefiting wildly. I don't know what Amazon's profit margins were for this year, but we know that they're really high. So how can blockchain change that, right? Time being the currency of value within these ad revenue platforms is ours. We own the time, right? We just need to understand that. We haven't tapped into the fact that we're the powerful ones in this equation and they're the weak ones. So I'm going to go over who is Justin Sun and what's Tron, just so that I can kind of lead into why this evolutionary process with blockchain is important. Have anybody heard of Justin? You guys know him? Okay, so everybody knows about him. What do you know? You know good stuff or bad stuff? Kidney stones. Kidney stones, okay, yeah. So mostly not great stuff, right? Justin's got some stuff where he's a younger guy. He's a 29, I think, right now, but he was 25 when he started this company. And so we're looking at a young man who's semi-close to being a billionaire right now and has established this brand new, smart contract protocol. Not brand new, but, borrowed it maybe or evolved it. Okay, you know what? Not brand new. Excuse me. Let me roll it back in. But he's evolved it. He's taking something and making it a little bit better for what we're trying to do or what they're trying to do. Now, what is it that they're trying to do? The smart contract protocol, similar to Ethereum, okay? It was built off of the Ethereum back, pretty much. Let's say that. They used their white paper to evolve into a faster, cheaper, less decentralized version of Ethereum. Well said? Okay. Now, why is that good? So right now, is anybody using the dApp space daily? Okay. So for the last year and a half, the dApp space has paid my bills every single day. That's how I've lived. And it's based off of this distributed economic system. And now we are right now thinking about how can that work, okay? So is that entertainment, videos, content, YouTube? Yes. For me, what it started with was gaming and gambling, right? Now, Tron is very well known for gaming and gambling dApps. Why are they able to do that so well? It's because of the speed. Tron is fast, it's cheap. You can have hundreds of thousands of users, hundreds or thousands of users, contracting hundreds of bets or wagers or movements in a game at a time. And the system, the nodes can handle it. The blockchain can keep up, whereas Ethereum would get congested, okay? It would just be too difficult, it wouldn't hang on. The dApps basically are this, all right? So we've heard this term dApp. What is a dApp? All it is it's a decentralized version of an app that you already know about, okay? We've used them plenty of times in the past. Facebook right now is an app that we're all comfortable with. YouTube is something that everybody uses every day. But the reality is, like I said, they've taken up all the market share and dominated it while not spreading that revenue around with the actual users, with us, with the viewers. As a content creator myself, if I put a YouTube video up that generates $100 worth of revenue, I'm going to get $44. That's what I'll get myself, and I don't make that much ever. My videos, you have to have hundreds of thousands of views to generate any kind of real revenue from YouTube. But I would love a system that might allow me to interact directly with my consumer, with the consumer of my content, where they might, for an ability to tip me directly, or just knowing that their viewership earns me more than my 45 cents per dollar, gives them incentivizes them to continue. They want to do this. It gives them a better feeling about watching the videos. You know, I can't stand sometimes when I'm in the middle of a very interesting YouTube video and I've got to go through 3 or 4 ads. It drives me nuts. But if I know that those 3 or 4 ads I'm getting paid to watch, and my guy that I'm watching is getting a little bit extra money, it takes the bite out of that sting a little bit, right? And that's going to be where we kind of see Tron's evolutionary process continue, because it started with the gaming dApps, right? And it did that because of the speed and the cost. It's cheap. Right now, it costs about a penny per transaction. So if I wanted to, you know, let's say, make a wager on any kind of platform or buy some tokens from their subsidiary TRC20 token platforms, I can do that. It's going to cost about a penny. So get some more water. Thanks, Ed. All right, and another thing is volume, right? So we're in these things to make money. We want to make some money off of these dApps. We want to get in there, and we want to be rewarded for our efforts. Volume has been incredible on the Tron platform. That's the one thing that nobody can deny. The amount of users has increased at a faster rate than most of its competitors, actually than all of its competitors this year. Volume is still shy on some of the other platform blockchains like Ethereum and EOS, but I don't think they're as secure. Ethereum is secure, but like I said, you can't handle the amount of volume or the transaction speed that you need to with Tron. EOS, does anybody hear about the hack last week? $100,000? Somebody paid $1,000 to hack $100,000 worth of EOS using a gambling dApp, using a gaming dApp within the system. That would not be possible at all on the Tron platform. It wouldn't work. Those kind of situations show me that among this like sewage that we've got after this bear market, this cleansing, if you will, we've got some products, some quality teams that are producing things that are going to be great for the future, okay? How can you identify those? Well, a really great way is to see people that have a working product. Do they have something that they're working on? Is the team actually generating value for the users? What kind of value? What is it? What are they offering? I'll do a real bit. Yeah, so I've got to acknowledge the bad stuff. I should have reordered this, I think, But you can't progress if you don't acknowledge your errors, right? So there have been plenty of mistakes made along the way. One of the biggest, I think, would be Justin Sun's attempts to market in an overhyping type of way, right? Who here heard the Liverpool Association, right? Tesla giveaway, the Warren Buffett lunch. Yeah, everybody knew about that, right? Those are situations where, now I don't think the Warren Buffett lunch was him overhyping. I think that was a really bad situation of geopolitics and health concerns. Did he have kidney stones? I think he did, because I saw him in person and he looked bad. But I also think China's pressure didn't help. So when you have those things that are occurring, you have to kind of take a step back and figure out where you're making your mistakes, right? So if we know that he's kind of doing a little bit of overhyping, those are simple fixes. I think that engagement's still engagement, right? Now, bad engagement is not great, but it's still him being talked about for reasons that aren't associated with negative things for Tron. It's just negative things that happen in the marketing aspect. So the plagiarism claim is going to be the biggest probably red flag you hear about Tron whenever it gets brought up, right? And what's that from? That's Ethereum. You copied it, you plagiarized it. That's what it is. I think the reality is that we're just operating under different cultural awareness. We are Americans. I'm an American. I grew up thinking that, if you invent an idea and you patent it, that's yours. Nobody can steal it from you, and that's fine. But Chinese culture doesn't have a problem evolving somebody else's better idea. It's not considered the same slight for them to take something that they see as a great thing and try to make it better. So I think that's one of those weird, kind of like dumbed down situations where it's not going to be an effect on the actual platform's performance in the future. It's just a reality from the cultural perspective. Now, this is the biggest reason. Why are the Tron dApps important? Why am I talking about this stuff? So, kids right now, games, that's all it's going to be. If your kids aren't playing games, they're watching people play games. Even my little niece and nephew who's 4, all she cares about is watching somebody else stream a game. That's what they want. So the gaming dApps space has an ability to capture our youth's attention and get them educated, right? Right now, like I said, it's just gambling. And it's getting ready to be content creation ownership and decentralizing that ownership. So YouTube, things like Tron TV are getting ready to come out where they'll have creators that are posting their content on Tron TV. Viewers can watch that and get paid the advertisement revenue, and everyone's happy. So what's going to happen and what's going to need to happen for this evolution is continued development. We need to have developers coming over and building products that people actually want to use. And not just that, that target kids. I think that we got to start at 10 and under and start educating them, just building fun games, things that they can play with, things that Tron's blockchain allows them to do for a cheap cost and educates them in blockchain technology. And I don't know about you guys, but anybody like ever not saved a level or been on a video game way deep and just like it's shut off and you lost all your progress? Well, if a kid loses his private key, I guarantee you that kid's only gonna do that one time, okay? That one profile that they've spent all that time for, that's only gonna happen once. And I know that it's kind of a basic concept, but if we can teach children to interact with the blockchain through gaming dApps that are simple, it doesn't have to be crazy. Flappy Birds. Flappy Birds is a great game everybody knows. There's a Tron dApp right now that you can play Flappy Birds and win some Tron if you're good at it. That's cool. Now, it's not gonna be like crazy money, but it's gonna be educational. And why is that important? Well, our fighter pilots right now were training in simulators before, 10 years ago. The fighter pilots of tomorrow are gonna be training with VR goggles in virtual worlds built on, new technologies. That same concept's gonna be applied for coders, for builders, for really any online position that can be taught through educational tools with the blockchain can benefit. And you'll see things like courses and just new ideas that we haven't even. Imagine a doctor, instead of being able to practice on cadavers or on bodies, they're able to go into a virtual world and they can go inside of a heart and they can go inside of the veins in the heart. They can go inside of the actual virtual world and operate with it. That's going to be how the future is looked at. That's how education will happen in the future. So, who knows about video game like collectibles and NFTs? Anybody know about that? Not anybody. Okay, I'm going to skip that then. I didn't know. Maybe people know about it. So, if we look back, we know that Facebook kicked off this big change, this evolutionary difference in how we view and interact with the digital world, right? Facebook, Twitter, they all got us hooked. Amazon, Netflix, YouTube, they cemented their ownership of the space. They really showed us that, man, there's a lot that we can get offered by these products. I personally think that in the future, blockchain will progress that ownership to the individuals, to the users, to us. So that's going to be the most important reason why I think the Tron dApp space is important for mass adoption. Now, if we can get kids playing with games and understanding how it works, and then transfer that knowledge into interacting with their wallets, interacting with different chains, cross-payment solutions, our kids are going to be so much more advanced at us in this. I mean, right now you see 4-year-olds that can interact with the pads and move everything, and it's, when I was a kid, I was playing with sticks outside, so the tools are different, right? The knowledge is going to be different, and the results will definitely be different. Now, what does this have to do with Tron, right? So the bleeding has happened. The bear market's pretty much eliminated anything that wasn't a working product providing real services. So when you look at things in similarities, I kind of try to draw the analysis to Amazon. Amazon had a working product. It was a legit company, but the price wouldn't reflect its actual value. So from the 2001 crash, we had, it was about 2 years, 1.8 years, which is kind of where we are now, 1.8 years from this crash, until things were able to kind of settle and rebound. I think if you look back at the dot-com crash, you can draw a lot of analogies and parallels to what happened with the cryptocurrency crash of 2018. There's just so many parallels when you look at the companies that were still existing at that time, but suffered massive drops from their valuations and continued to work during the off-season. So the bear market's been this last year and a half, and during that time, Tron has been working this whole time, working. More dApps, more volume, more users, and that's gonna translate into real value in the future. Now, I'm not sure if they're gonna be able to dethrone YouTube. I don't know, maybe they can. I don't know if they're gonna be able to offset anything that Facebook's already done. I think Facebook has cemented themselves for the long term. I don't know if we're ready as a society to make that change. But what I do know is that the parallels are too obvious to ignore. So when you look at 33,000% increases in value from their all-time low, it makes it hard not to want to take a risk on things that you know are building real products for the future. And I went a lot faster than I thought I was going to. But questions, yeah, give me some questions, guys. Go ahead. Thank you.
So I do have a question. Yeah, I got the mic. So you said that this was Tron's a trade-off versus Ethereum. It's less decentralized, but not as centralized as, say, EOS.
Sure.
Can you go into that and explain exactly how centralized or decentralized Tron is? What is the nature of its distributed POS?
Sure.
Or delegated.
So EOS has got 21 master nodes that are running right now. Tron has 27. That would be the easiest way to show the levels of decentralization between the two platforms. How many nodes does Ethereum have? I mean, like hundreds, thousands, right? So that would be one of the big differences in the levels of decentralization. With Ethereum, you've got hundreds of nodes operating all around the world. With EOS, you have 21 nodes that are operating around all the world as well, but obviously there's only 21. So if you can corrupt 7 of them, I've got a third of the network now. Tron has 27 master nodes that are running right now. What? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I wasn't expecting. So there's only 21? So
EOS?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, on EOS.
Yeah, Tron's 27.
Okay, 20. Okay, so that's slightly better. I thought EOS was 29, but yeah.
EOS is 21, right?
You can make your own blockchain with that.
Yeah.
It's a different system, though. I mean, Ethereum is not DPoS.
There you go.
So Ethereum is not DPoS. So it's a little bit different when it comes to decentralization. And we're talking about block producers with EOS, super representatives with Tron, but Ethereum is like a totally different system right now.
You heard it here first.
Say your name for me, bud.
Hi guys, and this is follow up what he said. So, what is the consensus algorithm that Tron uses, and how's that different from the standard?
I do not know.
proof
But I
of
can
stake
find out for you.
systems.
What,
Yeah, and how he said DPoS? How's that different from like the standard proof of stake system?
So the answer, the question
the question was, how is...
the question is POS versus DPoS or DPoS.
What's your answer? It's a technical...
Does anyone want to answer that?
Technical stuff's out of my realm, guys, so I'm going to be the one
I try
that
not
can-
to
yeah.
answer
And if I
questions
can't
that-
answer it, I'll get somebody that can for
Someone
sure.
who
so.
hasn't spoken yet.
So proof of stake means that you have to stake your tokens, and usually you have to have some critical amount to stake your tokens. So, for example, for Dash, you have to have 1,000 Dash. Different protocols have different levels, but delegated proof of stake basically means that you can take a small amount and delegate it out to somebody who's staking a larger amount. And essentially they'll pay you dividends for your small amount that you stake. So you can have, if delegated proof of stake was on Dash, you could have 10 Dash and delegate it to somebody who has a bunch of Dash and they're staking a main node, and you could make a little bit off of your small holdings. That's the biggest difference.
Does anyone want to add to that answer? Yes? Okay. State your name for the record. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey everybody, I'm Mike. So to add to what he was saying with the DPoS, he was saying that, anybody can put in to be a Tron super representative with any amount of Tron and essentially earn a reward. Now there's 27 super representatives. Myself and the company that I work for is currently the second highest rated super representative on the Tron network. And
Plug
for
the show.
example,
What is it? Plug it.
I'm not going to plug it yet. I'll get with anybody who wants to talk about it later. But for example, we give X amount of Tron as well as X amount of our native currency. So for all the super representatives, typically if they are a token host, they will also give their cryptocurrency along with Tron. So you'll be doubling down on your rewards.
We had a question over here.
Yeah, so I was wondering, with all of the free apps and games that are available now for kids, for adults, what have you, how does Tron plan to actually justify or market people paying per transaction, per move, per whatever?
So the idea is to not. We want to scale to zero costs for transactions, and that's going to be done through a layer 2 solution called Sun Network. From what I know, and there's not a lot of information out about it yet, it's going to be an on-chain or side-chain, hold on, what's it going to be? It's going to be a dedicated sidechain per dApp. So, for example, if you have the Wink platform, which right now is the #1 platform on Tron's network, where they're just doing lots and lots of transactions, everybody's rolling, playing games, rolling dice, playing poker, playing blackjack, whatever. It would allow them to have a dedicated L2 network that's transacting everything within that side chain, and then only when it's settling up Tron with, from the outside, you'll bring in right back to the main net. And so you're talking about free transactions literally for dedicated chains where, if somebody, right now one of the big issues is some of the dApps require a roll or a bet, a wager of a minimum amount, a large minimum amount, so 100 Tron, because you have to cover that cost of transaction. So the idea of implementing a layer 2 solution that eliminates the cost would allow people to bet pennies, literally bet a penny or bet 1 or 2 or 5 Tron. And that's where I see the evolution going for these children's dApps, because money's not going to be really made on them, but I think the money will be made through, behind them, marketing with them. People will want to sponsor. I don't know yet. I don't know how it's going to look, but I do think that the ability to have zero cost games that kids can play and have fun on and learn how to interact with the blockchain will be something that generates a lot of revenue on its own. I'm not sure how yet, but I can see it happening.
Oh, wait, hold up. If you want, I'll get you a mic. Also, we had a question in the back that I'll ask.
Yep.
The question was, can you talk a little bit about just what the involvement is with Tron and BitTorrent?
Sure.
Maybe you could just go a little bit more detail or something about that.
Yeah. You have a specific question? Because, as far as generalities go, I can give you like the basics of what BitTorrent's trying to do. It's a general idea is that you're trying to tokenize the P2P system that's already in place with uTorrent. So it's going to be done through incentivizing people by allowing them to use your computer space and seeding. If you seed right there, you're going to be able to earn revenue just from that happening, that occurring. So that's one of the ways that I think they're looking to tokenize or generate the revenue from the technology. I'd like to know a lot more. I know that BeLive is another thing. They've got BeLive, which will be a competitor for content creators. You're looking to use Tron TV and BeLive to start competing with Netflix and YouTube. Question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what's the name of your award-winning podcast, and how can I find that on YouTube if I wanted to subscribe to your podcast?
I'm going to show my buddy's podcast just because he and I are the one that are doing it together, but BitBoy Crypto and Mid-Earth Crypto. So those are two different ones. If you guys want to, we're doing all kinds of adoption videos at Braves games and Falcons games when they had the new cashless system set up. We're trying to really figure out what people know and what the issue is. You guys saw how difficult that wallet transaction was right there. I've run into that so many times when I'm trying to give people Bitcoin. I can't give them the Bitcoin anymore. Nobody wants to take it. And if they do, the 10 minutes that it takes it to happen, they lose interest and leave. So once we get that kind of solved, I think we'll have a little bit better chance with adoption.
Yeah.
I have a very technical question. I hope you can answer. When moon?
When moon? When moon? Yes. All right. Anybody get the joke? No. When moon? Yeah. Tomorrow. That 20% price drop today didn't help me that much, but everybody got hurt. So.
When sun? Huh.
When sun? When
that,
sun?
That cannot be original.
That was pretty good.
That can't be original, can it?
That was yours? So right now they don't know yet. They haven't given me information.
Second layer meme.
I think end of year. So end of year we'll have Sun Network working and dedicated L2 solutions already in place.
Question right here.
Yes, sir.
Hey there. Thanks for coming tonight. I know that you guys are based on the Ethereum core, the Ethereum virtual machine. With Ethereum morphing into something in the future, where do you guys see yourselves going when Ethereum makes that change? Are you guys going to adapt to that?
So we're already on our own mainnet. Tron has its own mainnet right now, and they have the Tron virtual machine. So last year, what was it? May? I think it was May of 2018 is when they launched their own mainnet. And so right now, they're off Ethereum completely. It was an ERC20 token, and now it's TRC20 token. So, or TRC10, and then all of the subchains are TRC20s. TRC20, excuse me. Yes. So it's like Tron. It's just Tron's mainnet. They were in Ethereum on the Ethereum blockchain before, but it was a little too slow, so they
I think the question is more in line with like the code base. Like, are y'all gonna take changes if Ethereum does like code changes? Are you gonna
Within
bring them?
Solidity, you mean?
Or the Ethereum core virtual machine?
I don't know. That'd be a great question for the tech guys I can ask.
Does anyone want to comment?
Who's not here? They're not here. Those aren't tech
Oh, they're
guys.
not here. Okay.
But I'll get an email and I'll ask. So you want to catch up with me afterwards, and I'll ask that specific question.
Also, we can follow up on Telegram first, some of those questions as well. So,
Yeah, anything technical, I'll try. But if it's too much, it's going to be over my head. So.
question? Okay.
Lots of questions. Cool. I'm surprised. I thought you guys wanted to get out and drink.
Hey, thanks for coming out. So a couple parts. Let's say if you want to go, let's say you wanted to go and, I don't know, buy a haircut. How far away are we for integrating something as simple as paying for a haircut at a local Gino's barbershop?
Yeah, I can track daily right now. So I use my Tron every single day, all the time for all kinds of different things. I use it on my spend card to buying flights on Travala.
Okay.
My barber Mike, are you here? Because he said he was coming. Hey, Mike's there. There he is. So, barber showdown. Yeah. So
if I was a barber, we would have a cutoff right now.
There you go. So my barber wants to start taking cryptocurrency, and actually last week I was waiting to get my haircut with him.
Yeah.
The guy in his chair while getting his haircut noticed me. We started talking about Bitcoin, yada yada. He recognized myself from the videos and was like, "Oh, I know that. Yeah, I've seen those videos." Hey, Mike, would you take Bitcoin if we could? Yeah, all right. So I think that's the step. Now, could Tron do that? I'd love to pay him in Tron. Download a Tron wallet app on his phone, and I could just send it right there. It's about a half a second or a second transaction speed. So.
Sure, but more
What do you mean,
on
like
the
on a
POS
business level?
POS level integrated
Right.
with the system.
Yeah, I don't know yet. I mean, so like certain partnerships have been made where I can like. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, dude, I do that all the time when I film too. Yeah. So right now there are certain partnerships that are in place. I can buy things on Travala, and yeah, I wonder if BitPay wants to set up some kind of little collab, huh? You're right next to each other. Talk to each other.
We've been clearing through BitPay since 2014, and they've been great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Does BitPay accept Tron as a payment? No. Interested though, huh? Okay, it's gonna happen.
I want 10%.
10% VIG. Yeah. Wow.
Why not?
That is a big referral rate right there.
Why not? So the second part of my 10-part question. So the Black Swan event, right? What are the chances of that related to the risk of it being in the realm of a communist regime in China, that philosophy, and what happens if they confiscate and start applying some pressure, as they probably might?
Yeah, that's a great question. So that would be like one of those things that happened with the Warren Buffett lunch, I think that can show the extent of the communist power to influence this blockchain. I don't think they're going to have the ability to shut down nodes. And if they did, they'd shut them down in China possibly, and the company would continue running because the other nodes would pick up the slack and process the transactions. So could communist China end Tron? No, I don't think so at all. Could they influence Justin Sun from doing things? Yeah, he's a Chinese national who's got family there and business relations, and they're a communist country that can do things that they want to do. So the reality is that, I think that there are things that will have, a ripple effect from them, but as far as fundamentals, no, it's not going to.
Okay, so we're running short on time. Last questions, quick answer, and then, well, if you can ask your question really quick. Go.
My question is, how are you going to get Tron and crypto projects more to the people when you have big advertising platforms like Facebook and Google shutting down crypto and deranking crypto applications?
Yeah, it's hard. This exactly is what we're doing. So we're going to start targeting smaller venues and really trying to focus on non-coiners. I'm going to work on that talk and get it a little bit better, but hopefully the idea is that I can make it easy for non-coiners to grasp what smart contracts are, what a DApp is. Small at a time, small steps.
Hey, I'm Brian.
Brian.
Full disclosure, I'm an admin in the Bankroll Telegram.
All
so
right, cool.
I'm.
What's your name?
I'm Brian. I'm
No,
BA.
your admin name.
BA.
Okay, all right.
But aside from Bankroll, which I think is awesome, do you have any other favorite dApps that you're currently using, games, casinos, anything that you
Yeah.
really want to.
So I was able to buy into Topia's ICO. I call it an ICO or an IEO just because they sold 50% of their platform at a coin offering that you could buy, and it's locked up. It's a set amount of coins. I don't have to worry about fighting inflation. So that was one of them. I'm anxious for sports betting to come. Sports betting has gotten huge right now on the platform. Last week, there was 25 million Tron contracted in 1 or 2 bets between a couple of guys that I know. So that's just going to pick up. I mean, there's NFL season's getting ready to kick off, and there's so many Telegram groups that I've seen where sports betting is just a business in and of its own, giving the advice. So I think that you'll see that bring in more people. I'm the Topia Sportsbook. That's what I'm looking at. Yeah.
Okay, so we're out of time. Can we give a round of applause for Quinn? Thank you. Okay, so we'll have about 2 seconds to network and socialize. You can go to the booths, and then we're going to go next door to Twin Peaks. So you can actually exit through the left, go outside, and then Twin Peaks will be on your left. Try to pick up everything in and around your seat. Please don't leave a mess. Thank you all for coming. See you next month. See you at Twin Peaks.